Look, you don't even have to sit and ride no more. You can sit and enjoy your lemonade of the comfort of your porch by controlling your lawnmower to your phone. Pretty dope. Price tag $50,000.
Okay, I want y'all to do some real thinking here. What if, hypothetically speaking, some of these mountains not natural mountains? Just look. Do some real thinking now. This is a man-made mountain. I find that, how can you put this? Interesting. No, that's actually crazy. Considering that it's mountains opening up with doors on the side of them, makes looking at something like this all the more strange. Just think about it now. Just think about it. Just look. Just think. The possibilities. Interesting.
Hey, that is a cool idea. What better way to go unseen? But I don't know how safe it is with all those wood beams. With something that magnitude, I'd rather steel beams or something like that to be more sturdy. It looks like all it takes is one good gust of wind and it'll blow that whole little mountain down. Your operation is exposed.
Listen! Let me know, is it time to get out of New York? Take a look. The New York Appellate Division has ruled in favor of Governor Kathy Hochul in a landmark case for government overreach. Rule 213, isolated quarantine and procedures will give the state of New York the ability to come into your home and take you away to quarantine you without any notice and for any virus or infection they deem necessary. You won't have any option to fight it. No court date, nothing. The rule has no age limit and they can keep you for as long as they like. The rule also allows them to treat you as they see fit, including using methods that are still in testing. This is one of the biggest abuses of power that this country has ever seen. This is only the beginning. How long until this is nationwide?
People ain't getting out there and voting, or they keeping stuff under the rug where people don't even know what they voting for. But that's pretty deep to come into somebody's house without them knowing and just take you away for as long as they want to and do whatever they want to you. Who is agreeing to this? Are we not reading the fine print?
Even global. As I mentioned, let me know your thoughts. This has come out in the past week, and take a look at the headlines coming out over the past week. Appeal planned after New York Supreme Court reinstates camp regulations. Court reverses previous ruling on New York State isolation and quarantine procedures. Quarantine isolation law reinstated after Appellate Division decision. And New York just made it legal to quarantine and isolate citizens indefinitely. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest on these articles so that way you can see exactly what's taking place. And yes, this has taken effect in the past week. The state of New York now has the ability to isolate, quarantine, and to do so however they see fit and for whatever duration. This, they said, is going to be appealed again as this continues on. And in addition to that, take a look at what just came out right after this. Hochul announces new step to counteract rising online hate speech, as they're also saying they need to control the speech and the narrative to make sure that people are getting what they are saying is the truth.
All right, guys, listen. If you live in New York, run real fast. Like, if you own a house, go ahead and sell it. If you own a condo, go ahead and sell it. If you just renting, go ahead and move. Leave New York ASAP. Trying to warn you. They're starting a thing where they can just come in your home, pull you out your home, and put a consequence on it. And they call it quarantine. So I'm trying to tell you guys now, they're about to come for you. And it ain't nothing that nobody can do. Yeah, ain't nothing that nobody can do. So I'm telling you now, this is my warning to you. Run.
Maybe this might help y'all understand why I do what I do. It's time for y'all to really wake up!
as a catch-all term because technically they're disembodied spirits, personalities without bodies, real people without bodies that you can't see, things that come in words into your mind. But picture the function or role of a fallen angel / demon or a spirit being coming from an actual society. A lot of these are very knowledgeable and were actual scientists. Disembodied scientists, dark pharmacists, having the knowledge of the heavens, and even teaching them to man, like the Book of Enoch tells us. Heaven is the ultimate breakaway civilization, as we'll see in just a second. Think about the Nazi Operation Paperclip and how some of those scientists were siphoned into things like Antarctica and even into the United States for letter agencies. So let's dive in for a deeper understanding. Demons with powers of dimensional control, like Dr. Strange, would be a dark version of the Office of Quantum Physics. Now think who's really giving instructions for CERN behind the scenes, and the fourth dimension being, supposedly. So the Lord of Power type of demon would be like the chief of nuclear reactions, totally understanding all of the elements. Future video plug, deep dive into the elements and demons, totally fascinating. Also, you can see here the branch of sorcery and how the fallen angels taught the dividing of roots. Pharmakia, doctors, shamans, more of the witchcraftian medicine which ties into spirits and reactions rather than just the chain-breaking power of the Holy Spirit. The true freedom and power. You have to make deals with these things that often don't work out good for you. Some of these fallen spirits are like astronomers, positions and branches in the offices of astronomy. They totally know the stars, all the movements, the circuitry of the heavens. Now think about NASA and Space Force. Babylonian priesthood. A total dark, twisted, corrupt, and perverted version of the original reality. But this really gives insight into the Heaven Society and is where I want to go. Enoch mentions how angels and other spirit beings are in charge of a lot of things around us, like Raphael and healing, or Uriel and the stars, and the movement of the heavens. Heaven is an actual breakaway civilization. Think about all the things the Bible mentions are in heaven. Music, instruments, and singing, animals, a temple, literal streets of gold, positions for ruling and reigning, sophisticated, advanced society. You have to learn how to overcome energy, tame brute beast passions here in the flesh on earth, and instincts of the flesh and the lower mind, works of the flesh. You need to be an advanced being that displays fruits of the spirit. In heaven, there's lots of books, lots of pens, or holographic type of tablet computer scribing devices that watchers observe and record. And the books were opened, and people were judged according to what were in the books. Holographic living movies of events and timelines, events and lives. You are a living book. There's genius mathematics, creating things, genetics and science. Think Eden. There's a divine council of beings that meet and discuss things. There's gates and architecture and buildings. There's rivers and trees and fruit. What do we really know about anything? Heaven, the ultimate advanced, pure and holy breakaway civilization. Hope you make it. In close, anything could be good or bad, it's how it's used, and it's according to the original instructions of the maker. Everybody trusts and serves somebody or something or some book. What's your choice? See you next time.
Prices of human body parts on the black market: ear, $12 each; appendix, $26 each; nose, $78 each; teeth, $120 per set; nails, $130 per kilogram; hair, $145 per kilogram; brain, $156 each; hand, $180 each; arm with hand, $390 each; stomach, $510 each; shoulder, $530 each; skin, $535 each; sperm, $620 for 200 milliliters; pork belly, human equivalent metaphorically speaking, $1,000 per kilogram; gallbladder, $1,230 each; skull, $1,230 each; eyeball, $1,562 each; small intestine, $2,560 per segment; fresh tongue, $4,000 each; fresh testicle, $5,100 each; thigh bone, $7,600 each; handsome man's head, $7,800 each; egg, $8,000 each; pancreas, $51,000 each; liver, $60,000 each; fresh kidney, $80,000 each.
It make you wonder, with all these missing kids in the U.S., we thinking they trafficking them, but they probably just busting them down like they doing cars at a chop shop, which is sad.
Fresh lungs, $85,000 each; large intestine, $87,000 per segment; heart, $115,000 each; fecal transplant, $2.1 million each. So the question is, can you still say you are worthless?
Notice the shadow behind the sun. Notice the shape looks hexagonal. And you can see in the reflection, looks like a sun simulator. And know that it's not from a camera lens, all right? It's unusual.
Alright, so I saw your post about the sun and the honeycomb nature of the simulated market. So I decided to come out here today and video what I saw from Arizona. It looks like there's two freaking suns. I mean, it is super bright out. And my lens flare is showing it too. So I'm not entirely sure if that actually means we have two suns, but just kind of found it interesting and thought I would share. Alright, so at first it looks completely normal. And then you zoom in.
Those souls. Two suns.
He and I saw shadows. We thought the sun was flickering. The sun is shining through the windows. And we kept seeing a shadow flickering. And when you look at the sun, you can't see the flag. But in the camera, you can.
You guys, what is this? What is that? I'm out here on my walk. I've cleaned my lens like 7 times. I don't know why it looks like
a sun glare.
Hello?
Am I tripping? What is that?
You're not tripping.
Can someone in the comments explain, please?
A few things, all right? Nature is confused. I'm seeing some trees behave as though the season is autumn. I see flowers receiving direct sunlight and they're still dying. The animal patterns are weird. Remember before the solar eclipse, I kept saying that the crows are acting unusual. And now I'm hearing birds that are like brand new. And logically, you can think, okay, birds come out in different seasons, right? Bro, there's a mourning dove that, I'm not being hyperbolic, there's a mourning dove that visits my window at least 5 times a week. Prior to this, I have not seen or heard the mourning dove since I was a teenager. And it's not just land animals. Animals in the ocean, in the waters, are also being affected. Roll the footage.
These are all dead jellyfish, you guys. What is going on? All of these evidence. This is so sad.
Maybe it was a full moon the night before. Who knows?
This is so sad.
This April 8th solar eclipse was different. It came with a lot of after effects, and we have still not even witnessed the thick of the effects. Those are still to come. It's going to be a 6-month window. Just watch. I'm not talking about the hurricanes, the typhoons, the earthquakes, loading, but I mean, it's more of a spiritual after effect where the veil is thinning. Now, I can't remember if this happened before the eclipse or after, but people are now seeing demonic faces. Okay, we live in a 3rd density dimension. Our reality has a certain resonant frequency. If you increase the frequency, you can change the dimension. Now, think about CERN and the Large Hadron Colliders. It's not just the one in Geneva. We have several here in the United States. And these colliders are strategically placed with ancient sites here in the States. Okay, Chicago was one of the main central hubs where they had the World's Fair, where they had importing and exporting, ley line activity. It's so they strategically placed these large hadron colliders in strong, energetic places, right, where it can affect all of us. When you change the frequency of that dimension, we're connected to the electromagnetic field. So you change the people within the area. I just want to reiterate here for clarity. Operation Fishbowl, you can see here, was a series of high altitude nuclear tests in 1962. They tried to blow up the firmament. Okay, that happened in 1962. The Sun Simulator patent happened 3 years later, 1965. Now, the Valila that you saw, the millions of Valila that were dead in the ocean, those could have been due to electromagnetic shock. The luminaries above us, the sun and moon, they operate off of electromagnetic frequencies, energy. Everything in our reality is connected to electromagnetic energy. Your body, your vessel is ran off of electromagnetic energy. Your cells generate electricity, right? So that's why we had a strong, I think they called it like electromagnetic storm, like before the eclipse, and then the sun and the moon got a lot brighter. They were being charged. Okay. The moon and the sun never retrograde. They don't retrograde. However, the moon decides to retrograde for the eclipse. You can see it moving, and then when it gets in front of the sun, it stops to give you an eclipse. Now, I'm only using the moon because that's what they tell us an eclipse was, but you all know that was not the moon in front of the sun for the solar eclipse. Matter of fact, the sun looked self-eclipsed, like it was holographic in nature. Like you can see, it looked like a slideshow. Like you had a perfect circle that was supposed to be the sun, and then you just had this shape that was supposed to be the moon, just sliding in like a projector. It stopped, gave you a perfect ring, right? And then it kept moving. Our very sky is holographic in nature.
And this is what a real banana looks like. Look at this. These are wild bananas. Look how tiny they are. Like a finger. You see? Smaller than my finger. But the most...
All the vegetables in the store and fruits, I bet only like 1% are actually real organic. That's sad. Because nothing you see got seeds in it no more.
Exciting thing about wild bananas is this. They are full of seeds. Not at all like your regular banana. Can you hear the crunch? The seeds are very crunchy, but it makes the flavor a little bit bitter. So you kind of don't want to crunch them, right? Look, full of seeds. These are wild bananas. This is what a real banana looks like.
Hey, somebody let Buddy in. Look like it's raining outside.
Jobs that pay really well. First, First, we have the professional cuddler. You can get paid up to $37 an hour just to spend time cuddling people. Okay, this one's pretty cool. Next up, we have a water slide tester. For this, you get paid $26 an hour just to ride water slides. A little dangerous because you're the first to ride them once they're built, but pretty cool. And my personal favorite, a luxury house sitter. You can get paid up to $45 an hour just to sit in someone's luxury house.
Morbid Facts, Part 234. American singer John Denver died in 1997 when the plane he was piloting suddenly crashed. An investigation later revealed that he wasn't experienced with the plane he was flying, and for some reason the fuel gauge was located behind the pilot, so Denver couldn't see that it was low on fuel. As a result, the plane eventually ran out of gas and dove straight into the ocean. Alien hand syndrome is a rare neurological disorder in which one hand functions involuntarily with the person completely unaware of its actions. People affected by it have been known to randomly throw objects, slap themselves in the face, and even attempt to strangle themselves, having to use the controllable hand to restrain the alien.
It sounded to me like the uncontrollable hand is fed up with itself.
In hand. There's no known cure for this mysterious syndrome. A 12-year-old boy from Uttar Pradesh watched his own father get brutally murdered by a family friend in 2003. 12 years later, the boy murdered his father's killer in a revenge attack that he had planned since the day his father was killed. He then cut the killer into 12 pieces, one for each year he had to wait.
Scariest sounds in space are 100% real, but will keep you up all night long. Nah, just you wait till you hear some of these and find out what they actually are. Now I know what you're thinking. There's no sound in space, so this is just a load of bollocks, right? Well, that's what makes this even scarier. So first of all, there are some sounds organically in space, which NASA used something called an electromagnetic acoustic transducer, which basically takes these waves and puts them into sound waves so we can hear them. But the scarier thing is from actual astronauts who have been in space and things that they have seen and heard. But yeah, if you're easily scared, keep on scrolling. This is your final warning. First of all, a Helix Nebula. This is what it sounds like.
Imagine being close up and hearing that in person. It's probably so loud it'd probably make your whole body disintegrate into pieces. I'm cool.
Nah man, this sounds like a flipping demogorgon screaming at me. How is that even possible? This is what a supernova sounds like, and it's absolutely, honestly, nah. No way in hell. There's flipping film music. Now this literally wouldn't be audible to astronauts in space. There is no sound, as I said. So how do you explain this? In 2003, astronaut Chang Lui was the first person to be sent into space by the Chinese space program. Now, while in the space shuttle, he reportedly heard knocking. Just straight up knocking on the outside of the spacecraft. He described it as someone knocking the body of the spaceship. What makes this crazier is that astronauts between 2005 and 2008 who went up to space reported the same thing without even hearing about this guy's experience. Other astronauts have reported sounds of wailing, sounds of screaming from in space, which shouldn't even be physically possible. So how is that happening? But there's a lot more and I'll dive deeper into it, but make sure you hit that follow button and I'll see you in the next one.
Mind so much that everybody keeps their heads buried down in their phones, hoping not to make eye contact with somebody, making your adrenaline pump like 75% of the day, because nobody even wants to have a conversation nowadays. Now, it used to be you would be happy that somebody would come to talk to you. Now you get worried about what the fuck's about to come out of their mouth, right? Not only that, right? But not only that, but then on top of that, you have to realize that they also have you chasing adrenaline in short bursts, which is why you look for entertainment videos that are short durations of time. Quick entertainment and got to move on. Your attention span's been fucked up. So I'm proud of you guys for sitting here for this long. So realize that, because they've been pumping adrenaline like crazy. Why do you think there's so much fear tactics? Fear, adrenaline, right? All of these things are adrenaline, right? Then they tell you got to be a better person and you deserve this, that get your pride fucking going. Your pride is only part of your envy because you only envy things that other people don't have because you think that you deserve more of them, which pisses you off because you're being too greedy. So instead of being able to get these things, you sit around and get all lazy and start eating a whole bunch of shit and smashing people trying to get some type of connection, but you can't have a real connection because you're already so disconnected by how they programmed you. Because every time you run into somebody, it's a burst of fucking adrenaline, which is fear running rampant through your system on a regular basis. Yeah, you see how I just knocked all that out real quick? That's because it's the truth. Okay? So listen. I have to get out of here shortly, okay? Listen, you gotta get your mind under control. Okay? You gotta get your mind under control. That's what I brought you to, that's why I wrote you the book that teaches you how to find the love behind everything, so that once you understand that on a certain level, you're able to reshape yourself in the moment instead of getting drowned in it. This isn't going to, look, let me tell you something, right? This is not a book that is going to stop you from having those moments. Okay? This isn't going to stop you from having those moments. This is going to teach you how to not get stuck in them. This teaches you how to get out of them so you shut down that over abuse of your system. Okay, that's what the purpose of this is. And how this does it is by teaching you a different aspect to look at each one of these things from, then teaching you how to program that into your subconscious, right? There is a chapter that teaches you exactly how to program it directly to your subconscious, okay? How to make it a natural thing for yourself so that you're automatically doing this instead of getting stuck in these moments. This is how you gain control of the mind, because it's mind, body, then you spirit. You understand? You have to get the mind right in order to get the body right. And if you don't have the mind right, you can't spirit. You'll never get that sacred secretion that everybody thinks that they're chasing or transfer them energies the way that they think. I don't care if you think that you're successful about it already. You're incorrect, because if you were, you wouldn't be speaking to me about kundalini, you wouldn't be speaking to me about chakras, you wouldn't be speaking to me about spirits, you wouldn't be speaking to me about any of these things, because you would be directly relating it to what it is, which is the endocrine system, which is the organs of the body, and how to regulate these properly in order for you to help yourself and regulate yourself and build yourself. All this does is teaches you how to re-see it, teaches you how to program it, and also shows you how you've been successfully doing these things all along, so that you stop doubting yourself so much by introducing you to things that you've already seen that you don't realize that you're not utilizing to your advantage. This book isn't made to fix your problems. This book is made to give you a way for you to get out of being stuck in those problems so that you can regulate yourself. Okay?
Animals reacting to no gravity. Dogs.
Why it look like he getting pulled up ass first, like he attached to a string?
Cats. Pigeons. Frogs.
How fed up with life you had to be to walk into the fire? Bro, it'll get better. he over there like, oh yeah. Look like fairy dust.
I don't know what that is, but I got you again.
Look at this, y'all. Have you guys ever seen this? Yo, you would think this is Photoshop, but this is real, y'all. Look at this. This was in Louisiana the other day. Remember that tornado that came through and wrecked Louisiana? This was caught before this. Excuse me, this was caught before the tornado. But do you see that big rainbow that people have been seeing lately? Remember when I showed y'all the same looking thing in Chicago? The only thing, it was red in Chicago. Here it is in Louisiana, and you can see the double rainbow, one here, and then in between the double rainbow, it's a dark band.
It's weird how inside the rainbow is lighter than outside the rainbow.
Dark band, y'all see that? And then in the middle of the rainbow, it's light. How is that possible? It's literally like a portal. And literally after the lightning or this plasma that you see here came through, the funeral home that was down the road to the individual burned up. Look at this. That plasma or that lightning burned up the funeral home. Look at that, y'all. Burned it down to smithereens. This is in Louisiana amidst the tornado, right? This is before the tornado. But look at that, y'all. You guys see what's going on? That plasma energy is not playing out there, y'all. Look at this. I'm talking about, look at the fire. It's literally engulfed in fire. And oh my God, do you see that shadow being? Look at that. Doesn't that look like a shadow being? Hold on, you guys. Even the fire looks weird, but look at the smog over here. Look at, it's a whole entity. Look at the beak, huh? It doesn't look like a parrot of some sort. Yo, huh? Like a dark bird. Cause look at the eyes, look at the beak. Is that the phoenix? Remember, the black sun is releasing a lot of dark energy because, man, we have never seen anything like this, y'all. And it's been happening all over.
I am home alone. I'm hearing my own voice upstairs. Door won't stop knocking, and there's nobody there. This door keeps banging. I thought I was hearing my voice.
For one, that house looked way too nice to be haunted. Looked like it was just built last year. Unless it was built on the Indian reservation or some gravesite burial or some spooky stuff like that. I don't know. But I'm calling Cap already before I even see the video.
Nobody's there. Go away! Ooh, that was right over my shoulder. I'm giving you one chance to leave. I know what you're doing. It's not scaring me. It's not scaring anybody else. You need to leave now. I got a feeling you're in this room, aren't you? Are you in here? This again. All right. If you're going to play these games all night, I'm not going to play. I'm not doing this. And now I hear the bathroom water on. Good grief. Get out.